I truly hope that this is merely a sign of greater things to come, because we know the Republicans have been saying if we're going to be taking back the House and the Senate, we're going to do all of these trials on Fauci, and we're going to drag him in front of these, screeching matches that are, investigations that we conduct that end up really leading to nothing. But they've been saying that they're going to be doing this, but there are also other lawsuits that are out there. And we talked about this beforehand. It got no traction on the channel. But I'm sure you guys are also familiar with the fact that there was some misinformation going back and forth between big tech and the Biden administration regarding a couple of different things. And now that this lawsuit is heading to a certain discovery evidentiary portion of the trial, they're going to make Anthony Fauci produce a couple of documents, and some documents that we already know of. Okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to the lab leaks and the different communications that were happening between Fauci's offices and another branch of the federal government, and then some folks over there across the ocean. Okay, Fauci knew a whole hell of a lot more than what he was actually letting on, and hopefully this lawsuit will really shed some light on this type of stuff. A judge orders Fauci, other top officials, to produce records for big tech government censorship lawsuit. Oh yes, Fauci and a couple of other people as well that you might recognize. Anthony Fauci and White House Press Secretary, black gay woman Karine Jean-Pierre, and other top Biden administration officials who were resisting efforts to obtain their communications with big tech companies must hand over the records, a federal judge ruled on September 6th. U.S. District Judge Terry Doherty, a Trump appointee, clearly corrupt, ordered the government to quickly produce the documents after it was sued by, the Attorney General of Louisiana and Missouri over alleged collusion with big tech firms such as Facebook. The initial tranche of discovery released on August 31st, we went over this, revealed that more than 50 government officials across a dozen agencies were involved in applying pressure to social media companies to censor users. But some of the officials refused to provide any answers to all the questions posed by the plaintiffs. Among them, Fauci, who serves as a director to the national. Hey, he's retiring, so don't look through any of my stuff. I'm leaving in December. Just let me leave in peace. The government claimed that Fauci shouldn't be required to answer all questions to provide records in his capacity as NIAID director or in his capacity as Biden's chief medical advisor. It also attempted to withhold records and responses from Jean-Pierre. Why is that? She just became the official, or at least the lead, whatever the fuck her proper title is, okay? She's the propagandist. She's the spin doctor right now, okay? And you can't criticize her because she's gay and black, the first one ever. First, the requested information is obviously very relevant to plaintiffs' claims. Dr. Fauci's communications would be relevant to plaintiffs' allegations in reference to alleged suppression of speech relating to the lab leak theory of the COVID-19 origins, and alleged suppression of speech about the efficacy of masks and the COOF lockdowns. Jean-Pierre's communications with White House press secretary could be relevant to all the plaintiff's examples. Okay, so that's when she was deputy White House press secretary. Interesting. Doherty said, referring to examples such as the suppression of Hunter Biden's laptop story ahead of the 2020 presidential elections and censorship of claims COOF originated in the Wuhan lab. Okay, but again, that's a conspiracy theory that's out there. Fauci additionally must provide complete answers to questions regarding his role as NIAID director. Doherty ordered Fauci and Jean-Pierre to comply within 21 days. Cool. We know from the previous round of discovery that efforts to censor the speech of those who disagree with the government on COVID policy have come from the top. Americans deserve to know Anthony Fauci's participation in this enterprise, especially since it's publicly demanded that the specific individuals, including two of our clients, Jay Bhattacharya and Martin Kulldorff, be censored on social media. Jeanine Lewins, all right. Litigation counsel for the new Civil Liberties Alliance and the lawyer for some of the plaintiffs, said in a statement, "It's time for Dr. Fauci to answer for his flagrant disregard for Americans' constitutional rights and civil liberties. Thank God. Good on you. Good on you." HHS, the parent agency for AIDS, also tried to avoid answering questions and providing documents for the legal battle. Imagine that. And this isn't some, hillbilly with a vendetta out there in the sticks. These are attorney generals from Missouri and Louisiana who have lodged this complaint. So you better fucking take this seriously, because it looks like they are. Even though discovery from big tech companies revealed key HHS officials as participating in what plaintiffs have described as a censorship enterprise, both HHS and the Department of Homeland Security objected to attempts to get to the agencies to search widely for relevant records, describing the attempts as unduly burdensome and disproportionate to the needs of the case. Aw, how adorable. We don't want to turn them over because they're going to find stuff we don't want them to. Plaintiff said the HHS was effectively exempting itself from the discovery process. Yeah, because they've got a complete and total blank check when it comes to doing whatever the hell they've wanted to over the past 2 years. So we've been accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and the court is not going to take that away from us. No, of course not. Doherty has agreed, the HHS, that conducting a search of relevant records among all 80,000 HHS employees would be overly burdensome. We just want to focus on a couple of high-ranking officials because that would be important. But said the HHS employee identification of the documents from Meta, Facebook's parent company, as engaging with the company needed to respond to the discovery requests. All right, so they've amended the complaint since we first talked about it. That's cool. Government officials identified 45 officials across 5 agencies as officials who communicate with social media companies about misinformation and censorship, but emails and other documents provided by Meta, Twitter, and Google. Wow, don't those people seem very important when it comes to the dissemination of information? In the case, show a number of other officials, including officials at the other agencies and the White House, were involved in the effort. Further, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg recently disclosed that the FBI reached out about disinformation. Yeah, the story told on Joe Rogan. Everybody talked about it, including myself. With each of these new revelations, plaintiffs have approached defendants and requests that they supplement their discovery responses to include responsive communications from the newly discovered federal officials. Defendants have refused to do so on the grounds that none of these newly discovered officials have been sued or served with discovery as yet, and it would be unduly burdensome to identify and produce their communications, the plaintiffs said in a recent filing. Yeah, that's adorable. Fucking cough up the documents, stupid. But one thing we know about specifically Anthony Fauci, okay? He was in close communications with the former head of the NIH. I think he is. Okay, Francis Collins, okay? Which again, why would you be saying this stuff over email? Okay, in person or over the phone? For fuck's sakes, why would you write this shit down? We need more details. Fauci emailed Collins about Chinese laboratory before a secret call. Yeah, again, just have the secret call, okay? Like, I'm not on Fauci's side on this. Obviously not. This is just amateur hour nonsense. Dr. Fauci messaged his boss in early 2020 about work done at a new Chinese laboratory that received funding from the United States government, a newly disclosed email shows. Francis Collins, at the time the director of NIH, sent Fauci a preprint study from Zhengling Shi, a top researcher at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, a high-level laboratory located in the same city that the first case of the coup were reported. Wow, imagine that. But they have a very sophisticated wet market that's there, and that's definitely 1,000% where the virus came from, right? In case you haven't seen this preprint from 1 week ago, no evidence this work was supported by NIH. Oh shit, and that was an email that was dated from February 1st, 2020. Okay, about a month before everything started to hit the wall. The email contained passages that were redacted under the exemption to a federal transparency law that allows withholding interagency or intra-agency memorandums, letters that would not be available by law to a party other than the agency in litigation with the agencies. Yeah, sure. A lot of fucking fancy talk for we don't need to tell you everything, just most of it. I didn't see it, but I did not check the similarities. Obviously, we need more details, Fauci told Collins. She had been studying bat coronaviruses. Oh, that seems pretty significant, including one called RATG13. That coronavirus was 96% similar to the Oh, interesting. According to the preprint, she and her lab received funding from NIH through intermediary nonprofit called the EcoHealth Alliance. Wonderful. New email was obtained and released by a nonprofit U.S. Right to Know through the Freedom of Information Act request. Again, if you wanted to keep all of this shit on the fucking down low, why are you doing it in emails? Fucking moron. Fauci had repeatedly stated that he thinks the virus started naturally. Well, it doesn't seem like you always held that position, though. On the call, scientists discussed the similarities between the bat coronaviruses studied in Wuhan and the COVID-19 virus, according to notes released by the Republican lawmakers. Oh my God, see, clearly biased. You got a Republican judge and Republican lawmakers asking questions. The evil right wing is at it again. Fauci recommended all the scientists to call to the World Health Organization for a panel the group was forming to investigate the origins of the virus, according to a newly disclosed emails. Tell me you want world power without telling me you want world power. Oh, we'll just get doctors from around the world and we use the WHO in order to get everybody around the table, and then everybody will be looking at me again. It'll be wonderful. Fauci and Collins have said that the U.S. government did not fund so-called gain-of-function research in the Wuhan lab. But no, they were just in close communications with the Wuhan lab. Anyways, I'll be very, very interested, and everybody else should be paying close attention to what's going on in this lawsuit. And if anything else, a juicy, funny, or potentially criminal comes out, oh, buddy, you better believe I'll be talking about it. So, until then, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.